Hey there, fellow Planeswalkers, it's Clint The Behemoth here, with an all-new type of Commander show I'm calling Win My Deck, where I challenge people on SpellTable all around the world, and if they win that game of Commander, they win my deck. I'll ship it to them free of charge. We all know Commander can get pretty expensive out there nowadays, so I think this is a great way for me to give back to the Magic community. So remember to, if you like it, click like. If you want to subscribe to it, click subscribe. This week's prize deck, we're looking at Jhoira the Ghitu. Jhoira is all about dumping big stuff from your hand in the early game using that suspend ability. I also put in some confiscate and bribery stuff to steal our opponent's bestest stuff, and dice rolls just for a little fun. Let's meet our challenging Planeswalkers and their scary commanders. Here on Win My Deck. Our first Planeswalker we have is Craven X. His commander is Sheoldred the Apocalypse. He punishes card draw, also while causing mono black mayhem, causing just a massive, devastating board state. And then, like all Praetors do, they tend to punish their opponents while taking everything.
Glory to Phyrexia.
Alright, we got Lauren Klex pretending to be an elf. He's an elf now. He just doesn't care about what you think he is. You know, he's gonna make mana, and he's gonna stop other people from making mana. Wait, there's not just elves? What? Earth the weak.
We have Camille here. She's the obscure Oculus. She's gonna help us get through our opponents by evading combat. Using that connive ability to get some card advantage. Then hits hard out of nowhere, baby. I'd say you know, but you don't.
That was weird. I guess the commanders wanted to introduce themselves. Anyway, I wasn't able to record sound for the actual game video, but I'm going to narrate it as best I can. Hope you guys enjoy. Hope you guys stick around, and let's see who wins my deck. Alright, we have the Rule 0 discussion where I explain the rules of Win My Deck to our contestants. I tell them Jhoira sits at about a 6-7 power level. Everybody decides on the decks they're going to play at. Turn 1, not too much happens. Nothing what we would call crazy in Commander. I put down Shivan Reef. Craven X puts down a Chrome Mox with no imprint, so it does nothing. Toxic Daddy ramps out into Finhorn Elf. Spenny Daddy puts down Takenuma, taps it into Vorpal Sword. I let Spenny know that I'm keeping an eye on him. Vorpal Sword, if you get hit with it with the mana cost, they outright win the game. Or that player loses the game, I don't remember which. Let me know in the comments. This is where Toxic Daddy's turn goes nuts. His turn 2, he ramps out with 3 visits, seeks out a forest. His card draw for that turn, he said, was Soul Ring, which he just laughed immediately and then plopped that down and tapped it into Swiftfoot. Spenny plays his land for turn, which is an Exotic Orchard. I like his style. I put down an island, tap everything to bring out my commander, Jhoira of the Ghitu. Jhoira, as we all know, likes to suspend things, so it's all kind of part of the plan, a little slow. Craven X puts his land down for turn, which is Gaia Reach Sanctum. Almost like he wants us to draw cards and lose life, causing hurt. Toxic Daddy does the scariest thing in Commander, which is count his lands, taps out for Explosive Vegetation, because he needs more mana.
think he currently sits at 6 or 7 mana access. It's going to be a game, folks. Get to Smitty Hardaway's turn. He taps out for Varragoth, the demon that boasts, and when he attacks, he tutors. I draw, put a mountain down. Craven X activates Gaia Reach, which makes me discard Talent of the Telepath. Craven X brings out his commander, Sheoldred. Toxic Daddy drew and took the life from Sheoldred. Already a problem. Toxic Daddy brings out his commander, Vorinclex, the elf. Apparently. He's not really an elf, but Toxic Daddy says he likes to think he's an elf, for at least this game. Craven X managed to kill Vorinclex before he got attached to the Swiftfoot Boots, and I'm okay with that. Spenny attacks Toxic for the Varragoth trigger and hits. He goes and searches for a card as part of the Varragoth trigger. End of Spenny's turn, I just tap 4 to suspend out. I know I didn't really put it in a good frame for the camera, but the red card is Molten Primordial, and the blue card is Champion of Wits. Not the best card to suspend, but I didn't have any better options, and having Sheoldred out, I was thinking maybe card draw later would be better. Then I bring out the MVP from my deck, Fate Spinner, and what this card does is at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, they choose an instance of draw step, main phase, or combat phase, and they have to skip each instance of that step or phase. I love this card, it just causes an absolutely chaotic board state. So it took a second to explain to everybody what it was. And immediately, Craven X, understandably, totally forgot about the Fate Spinner. So, it's okay. I reminded him of the trigger, and we got through it. And Craven X decides to skip his main phase, so he's going to go straight to combat after this. He rolls for attacks. He decides to attack Toxic Daddy from that roll. I was 1-2, he was 3-4, Spenny was 5-6, so he rolled a 4. He hit Toxic. We get to Toxic Daddy's turn. He decides to just draw a card, skip his combat step, since he has no good attacks, because he wants to do things this turn during his main phase. And one of those big things is, he'll tap into a Felwar Stone, count his mana, and then he'll bring out Karn, Liberated, and use that as minus ability to exile Sheoldred. Pretty sweet move for the table. We're all stoked by it. Really appreciate you, Toxic. I mean, at least Toxic, Spenny, and I are pretty stoked about it. Spenny untaps, draws. He brings out his own Sheoldred, which was like, dude, seriously, are you kidding me? So we get to my game plan. I decide to attack Karn for reasons. Then Craven X puts down Great Unclean One. He lost 2 life, so he puts down 2 tokens. Toxic manages to get Vorinclex onto the field with the Swiftfoot Boots attached. He can't go to combat due to the triggered ability of Fate Spinner, so he skips to end step. Spenny draws his card for turn. Taps into a kill spell for Fate Spinner. Such a shame. I take down my counters and I cast what I call a Pain Storm, because it hurts a lot. With Shieldred on the field, I lose 6 life immediately, including the 2 life I originally drew from that original card draw. So, not the most ideal moment. I suspend out Inevitable Betrayal, and after that, I pass turn. I put a coin down to remind me of the Vorinclex trigger, so I can't untap those lands. Craven X puts the land down for turn. Then he counts his mana down. Craven X plays Call of the Week, sacrificing one of the tokens he made from Great Unclean One. And after that, he taps all the rest of his mana, activating Cabal Coffers as well, I believe, to play into Meathook Massacre. Huge game-changing board wipe, takes Vorinclex off the field. Fortunately, leaves Craven X tapped down for mana for a turn, but that's okay. After that Meathook Massacre, Toxic Daddy just passes turn. Spenny finally plays his commander, Kamiz. Finally, the first things I suspended early on in the game finally get played out. I believe this would be turn 7? 8? Turn 8. First thing I do is I trigger the Champion of Wit, since there are no Shieldreds out, and I can now draw without impunity. Second trigger that happens is Molten Primordial comes down, and that means Kamiz gets taken for a ride. I take control of her. After taking control of Kamiz, I go to combat, and I swing everything at Toxic Daddy because I'm just afraid of what he's going to do next. He tells me all he had in his hand was a forest, and I feel kind of bad after hitting him. But Vorinclex is scary. After that, we go into Craven X's turn. Taps all his mana to replay Shieldred again, because I don't think he has much else to do. He only had a forest in hand last turn. I can't let this happen, so when he hits the ground, I cast Divergent Transformation, which reshuffles Vorinclex into an It That Betrays. When you put out a fire, only realize you made it even bigger. I also exiled Kamiz and turned it into Valuz, which has sack triggers, so yeah. Once again, bigger fire, just not great what I wanted to happen, but I guess everybody gets to use their mana. I deserve a trophy. Spenny plays an equip spell, attaches it to, it was Ancient Silver Dragon. I was wrong. I can't tell what the cards are on SpellTable. I do apologize sometimes, guys. But I can't expect everybody to have high quality webcams either, so live and learn. Spenny puts down another equipment for a turn. We go into my turn, and if I remember correctly, just attack. Craven X then taps into Cryptghast which has Extort and also doubles his mana. So another mana doubler out there. So it is just a mess. He then taps out to play into, for the umpteenth time, Sheoldred again. We go into Toxic's turn. He now has an It That Betrays. And he uses Timeless Witness to bring back Karn Liberated. Not Timeless Witness, Eternal Witness. After some hard decision making, he decides to take out the Sheoldred. Good on him. Unfortunately, he had to take that life damage, but good on him. And then he puts a Snake Umbra onto It That Betrays, and he swings at Spenny with it. It That Betrays has Annihilator 2, so Spenny sacrifices Vorpal Sword, and I believe it was the creature he got off the Divergent Transformations. I can't remember exactly what that creature was. I'm sorry, guys. Seeing no good attacks, Spenny passes turn. Inevitable Betrayal from Suspension finally gets cast and played out. And Toxic Daddy offers that he has a ton of Eldrazi in his deck, so I get myself a Kozilek from it. Represented by that card with the coin on it. I play a Fire Diamond, and then I go to attacks. I swing at X Craven. Craven X taps down all his mana to replay Sheoldred. Then he casts Teferi's Puzzle Box. This was a controversial moment in the game because he did promise earlier, I know I didn't mention it, but he did promise earlier not to use the Exploit ability, and he does right here. And after that, Toxic Daddy is killed once he gets to his draw step due to the activation of Puzzle Box. Moving along to Spenny's turn. He takes all his stuff, puts his land down for turn. He then attaches his equipment to the Ancient Silver Dragon he put out last turn. And he's got to be careful with this swing here because Sheoldred is out, and what Silver Dragon does is whenever it smacks, he has to roll a d20, and then he has to draw that many cards. So hopefully he doesn't hit too hard here. He's still questioning it. Spenny lucked out and he only rolled a 4, so only drew 4 cards. He only took 8 damage, which in this game is a lot of life at the moment. Spenny plays down a creature and then he passes turn. Go to my turn. I play Manifest Reality, or Dismiss into Reality, whichever one, to get rid of Sheoldred. To manifest a creature. And Craven X not understanding tells us it's a swamp, so we tell him he can't flip it. And then I tap whatever mana I have left available to me to cast a Sweltering Suns to do 3 damage to everything, to pseudo-wipe the board and kind of clean up everything. So it leaves Ancient Silver Dragon and Molten Primordial on the field. Then I decide to swing with Molten Primordial at Craven X. I let the table know that I'm hellbent and have no cards in hand. Hands in hands. Cards in hands. Casting a Dark Ritual, he taps out all his mana using Cabal Coffer's ability to count all the swamps, and he brings out cEdh. He passes the turn over to Spenny. Spenny takes that card draw, takes the damage from cEdh, untaps everything. Spenny plays cEdh. He steals cEdh, and after stealing cEdh, he swings and attacks using cEdh's ability, and wins the game.
Wow. That was a heck of a game, and a heck of a win made by Spenny there right at the end. Wasn't expecting that one at all. I'd also like to thank X-Craven and Toxic Daddy for playing with us. I'm going to send some merch to you guys if you guys reach out to me on my Discord. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, if you made it this far. Also, you're probably wondering, did Spenny actually win my deck? Take it away, Spenny.
Just unboxed my new deck. It's Jhoira of the Ghitu from Clint over there in Nevada. As you can see, the packaging is open over there. I gotta feel the thing. Check it out. These are the key cards from the deck that I've seen of the mythic rares. I'm going through it right now, but yeah, man, appreciate the deck.
Hey, thanks, Benny. You know, he told me it was his birthday, so it was a win-win for him. And you know, you could try and win my deck if you join the Discord community down below by clicking the link. And also, I could provide more content if you click like, subscribe, and comment on these videos. I'd really appreciate it, and I really appreciate you coming all the way to the end. And as Clint The Behemoth saying, pass turn.